Hello everybody, I'm back again with part 2 of Eleanor Rigby. This is the music for Eleanor Rigby. It's quite daunting, frightening in fact. Eleanor Rigby in the key of E minor. It's got one sharp in that key, which is F sharp. And it's quite a daunting task to look at that music. Never mind, forget all about it because you don't need to use it. Right. Sheet music is very complicated. So I would advocate first learn the song you want to learn on the guitar. Sing it. You can get it on YouTube on various sources, but learn the song so you can sing it through. Now, one of my tips I'm going to give you here is what I call chunking. It's my copyright and it's my idea. I've never seen anybody else do it. And what chunking basically is, instead of reading the music from left to right and following it on the sheet music, which tends to put you off a bit, we chunk it. In Eleanor Rigby, the chunks are look at all the lonely, which is C. So it's C. Look at all the lonely. Then the next chunk is E minor. People. C again. Look at all the lonely. E minor. People. Verse 1. E minor. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been. Lives in a E minor dream. Waits at the window, wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the sea door. Who is it? E minor for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Right, on the left of this diagram, you can see my rather silly drawing of two guitars, and I've put on it the key of C, which is on the B string at the first fret, and you see the black dot. That is C. Now, there's two other little circles there, which is on the D string and the A string. That's the full C at the first position, which we call an open chord. The next diagram next to it is the E minor. There we have it on the A string at the second fret and the D string at the second fret. Now, that's a lot simpler than that sheet music I was showing you, which should put anybody off. You'd think it's beyond me, it's beyond you, but it isn't. But if you bear in mind the way that I work with music, calling it chunking, you'll find you can write music down and you can work it out a lot easier than on sheet music with the chords put on top of the words, because you often come and you're finishing your chord before you get to the end of the bar or after the bar, and it can confuse you. With the chunking, you've got the C chord and it's saying, look at all the lonely. That's C. Look at all the lonely. Then E minor, people. And then we go back to C again. Look at all the lonely people. Well, on this lesson, I've only put one verse down. You can get the rest of the verses if you're interested in doing it, and write them all down yourself, because there's only two chords and you can't go wrong. Now, just a matter of interest, I've got a list of chords at the first position, open chords, and there you'll see it's got C, 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 G7, G7, G, G, D7, A minor, D minor, E7, D, A7, E minor, B7, F, B flat, C7, B minor, C minor. It goes on and on. These are all at the first position, all different chords. There's even another sheet with extra chords here which I'm putting on to show you, which is G flat, A flat, B, D flat, E flat, G, E flat, A flat minor, A flat 7. Now all those are very daunting. They're enough to put you off and you think, I'll never learn all those, can't memorise all those. Well, here's the good news. You don't have to memorise any of them. Just all you have to learn to be able to play the guitar is 2 keys. And the 2 keys I would recommend is learn the chords of C, which is C, F, G, and A minor. In the key of G, we've got G, C, E minor. So it's G, C, D, E minor. G, C, D, E minor. Now if you learn those 2 sets of chords, which is just 8 chords, you can play any song that's ever been written. And you think, well, why do we need all these other chords? Well, the other chords are as if you become a virtuoso. You want to be a jazz guitarist or a classical guitarist or whatever. Then you need to know most of these other chords. But until then, until you move into that esteemed realm, you don't need to know them. What's the secret of this? Well, the secret is something called a capo. Here we have, I've got 3 capos here, 3 different types on the table. And what these capos do, they clamp on the neck of the guitar excuse me, I'm trying to, like that. Basically, there's many different kinds, but they all work the same sort of way. They clamp on the neck of the guitar. What does that do, may you ask? Well, we've got 7 chords. And the chords are A, B, C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A, back to A. So that's A minor, D diminished, C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A, or A. And that's 7 chords which you need to know. 7. But if you watch all these chord charts that I've shown you, you'll confuse yourself with all those. you'll wonder what they're all for and why you all have them. Right, I'll show you. If we play Eleanor and Rigby, I'll play it again. Look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing a face that she keeps in the jar by the door. Who is it for? Now that is the key of E minor. Now if I get a capo, and put it on there on one fret, we're going up the scale from the lowest position, we're going up the scale and it gets higher and higher, right? The next chord from E minor would be F minor. So if I was playing it in F minor, it would be, can you hear the difference between that note, the C now, the C minor? Look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream. Right. F minor. If we move up again, we then come to G flat minor. If we play it there, we've gone up the scale to G flat minor or F sharp minor, whichever you want to choose. So then it's look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream. Waits at the window, wearing a face that she keeps in the jar by the door. Right. Now if we go, keep on doing that all the way up the neck. You're getting a different key each time, but we're still playing the same chords, the same shape, which is a C shape. We've moved up to another key. And it's look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people. And that's what a capo is for. We can do it, move up again. As you notice, it's getting higher and higher. Look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream. Now we're getting higher and higher, which means you can sing this song with a vocalist who might have a different range, might sing in a higher pitch or a lower pitch, but you can play the tune according, or even your own voice. You might have a low pitched voice yourself, or you might have a high pitched voice. That's why when you hear people singing, trying to sing recorded songs, the song it's usually been messed about with. It's usually been played in one key. And when it goes in the studio, they put add-ons and all sorts of things. They speed it up so that it sounds better. But when you speed it up, it alters the key of the song. They play the song and people try to sing along with a lot of them, and it ends up, they think, why can't I sing in key with this song? It's because the song is not in the proper key. It's sometimes halfway between one key and another. So it's very difficult to play with a lot of songs, right? Just a little tip. So that's explaining the capo. I'll come back to it with another lesson, with another song, and I'll show you some songs that take 3 chords. But what I want to teach you after this is how to play the chords in the key of C, and then you'll be able to play C, and when you want to there, using the same chord, that's D, and when you go up again, it's E, when you go up again, it's F, and when you go up again, it's G. So you can play the chords of C and go through it, C, D, E, F to G, right? Then we can play G, and we can go A, B, C, D, E, F, which means we can play every key of the scale with only using 8 chords. To learn those chords, you probably, if you're keen and everything and very keen, you can learn them quite quickly, and you'll be able to amaze your friends and other people. I've never seen any of the guitar teachers on YouTube divulge this little secret. They keep it to themselves, like I said before. Teachers have a vested interest in keeping you wanting more lessons. Anyway, thanks for listening. God bless. Peace and love. See you on the next video.